Hey guys, welcome again to the channel. As you can see again, we have another Reebok Pump It Up box. I grabbed recently along with the Nike Air Huarache lights from Jimmy Jazz, and some of you that watch that video know what it is, but here it is. The Pump Omni Light Zone, the Omni Light Zone, of course not Omni Light Zone, the Pump Omni Zone Retro. I don't know why I said light, because of the Huarache light probably. Anyway, as you can see, the white, the green, gold and black colorway. Let me open the box, show it to you. Grab size 8 since all the Omnis and Omni lights for that matter run a half size too big for me. So I knew that already. I went ahead and grabbed size 8 and they fit me perfectly well. And let me go ahead and show you what those are all about. As you can see, the very simplistic, predominantly white upper with the hints of black and green. I really like that. I'm not entirely sure if this is original colorway, but might as well been, since I remember a ton of colorways from this original 1990 Omni Zone. All of them were worn pretty much of every single player in the NBA that had the Reebok contract from that time. When you start with, you know, Dennis Rodman had them, the Horace Grant as well, so Muggsy Bogues had them. So pretty much everybody that was on the sort of a Reebok contract, they played with these when they came out. They were a huge deal. Just a year later, after the original Reebok Pump High came out, at that time the technology that Reebok had, and they were currently working on the Hexalite and start implementing it with the running shoes, but they still use the energy return system. That's why you see the ERS here. That means energy return system. And that system was not as great as the Hexalite, of course, and a lot of people were saying that it's more of a gimmick, but I never saw a problem with it. They were still pretty comfortable to me. I tried many of them back in the day in the stores. Obviously, I didn't have the money for these kicks back in the day. You know, I was just getting in high school. I didn't have a lot of money, so you know, I was obviously just checking them out in the stores, trying them on and dreaming about the time when I will be able to actually wear or buy this kind of shoes and enjoy them. And it took a long time, but hey, I finally got them. So anyway, there was many different colorways, you know, with green, with blue, with black, with purple, with red. So this green one might as well be, you know, could have been a sort of a Boston Celtics colorway that, you know, somebody could have worn. D Brown for that matter. You know, he was already on the Reebok contract at that time. So I'm not surprised if I won't be surprised if he was wearing this particular colorway. I know he wore that model, but I'm not entirely sure if it's that particular colorway. So, but anyway. Continuing on the history of this shoe, so Omni Zone kind of comes from what I've read and heard from the Omni. Omni was the old basketball arena here in Atlanta. Of course, Dominic Wilkins was probably the #1 name under the Reebok contract at that time, so they kind of, I think, paid the homage to him and to the basketball tradition here in Atlanta and the Atlanta Hawks. So they kind of named the model after that. And what was really interesting as well, the model coming in 1990 was like the start of probably one of the best line of Reebok basketball from that time, the Omni line. So the obviously this is the first one. Then we had the Omni Zone 2, which D. Brown wore famously in the No Look 1991 Slam Dunk contest that he won, and he was pumping him right before his infamous or famous jump and dunk. Many people are kind of confused why Omni Light was released in the later 2000s instead of the Omni Zone 2, and many people still, of course people that don't know a lot about Reebok, still believe that the Omni Light was the shoe that he used at that time, but no, that's incorrect. He never wore the Omni Light. The Omni Light is a new invention by Reebok that came in the mid-2000s, and the actual shoe that he wore was the black, white and orange Omni Zone 2, which was very similar to the Omni Zone 1. The only difference was the implementation of the hex light, of course, the signature kind of a Z overlay right here with the straps. Other than that, very, very similar, same pump system that inflated the midfoot section, same toe shape, pretty much the same looking midsole and outsole. Obviously this one has the energy return system, as you can see. It says Reebok energy return system, and that was the difference. Then we had the Omni Zone 3 and the Omni Zone 4 were completely redesigned, and they looked amazing to me. Probably the Omni Zone 3 and 4 are my all-time favorite from the Omni Zone series. But regardless, I think historically wise, this first and the second have their place, and they're definitely very, very nice, and I absolutely love them. So again, let's talk about the shoe. This particular retro came out a year and a half ago, maybe two even. Let me see, 11 of 13 produced. So it was released in 2014 in a few other colorways, the like all yellow, the black with red hands, and a few other ones. You know, for some reason I kind of passed because I had to buy different shoes, but again, I knew that they're gonna go down pretty low eventually, and again, I'm not a massive fan of the first and the second edition, but just for the history wise and for the line that I absolutely love, I had to finally grab them. So Jimmy Jazz had them for $59. I used some coupons, so they kind of ended up being down to maybe 40 something, 50 I guess. And yeah, I grabbed these, and I'm very happy with what I see and what actually Reebok has done with this shoe. You know, the whole upper, predominantly, completely the whole upper is full grain leather. When you start from here, the toe box, these panels, this panel as well. This panel right here is kind of hard to say, but when I look at the grain right here, I think it is. The only synthetic leather is around here, the collar. Also right under here on the tone, so the upper portion is full grain leather where it says Reebok and basketball. By the way, the original pair, these writings were black. I might actually black them out eventually to make it more original look like. But the bottom portion here is synthetic, kind of like what you see on the question tone, and actually that's the weakest portion of the shoe, because after time this starts to peel and kind of looks very ugly, but you know, it is what it is. The straps are kind of a softer plastic. One of the problems of the old ones, and if you find some of the old ones that are kind of preserved, almost all of them have these cracked and chipped and all completely removed and broken off, because they're gonna get hardened with the time, and they broke off. They came with two sets of laces, as you can see, the green ones and the white ones. I intend to keep the white ones. I don't know, the green ones are okay, but I think white is what the original one was, so I'm planning to use the white. By the way, the laces are synthetic. They're not the nicer cotton laces, but you know, it is what it is. They had to cut the cost somewhere, somehow. The pump itself, it's just how the original was released, without blacking out the arch and D. Only pump was blacked out, so that's kind of a nice touch. They kept that. Padding is super significant, like super plush. I love that touch they did. And right there on the insole, as you can see, is the old logo, energy return, right there, where energy is up and the return is down, or how you look at it, they're kind of flipped. The insole is the regular performance insole from Reebok, very nice and plush. I put them on feet, they're very comfortable regardless of the ERS. By the way, the portion of the ERS here in the back is just for show. For those of you that don't know, this part does not connect with the rest of it. It's just for looks, basically. What the ERS is, actually, it's 4 tubes, polyurethane tubes. They're kind of lined up in this direction, right next to each other. And when you step in, they kind of compress and they decompress. So this was the system. The height is kept very close to the original. I really like that one. And one thing that it's kind of off, and I've mentioned that in many other videos before, is the shape of this midsole right here. And probably all the Omni lights have the same problem. Towards the toe, they kind of tend to go up and look like ice cream scoopers. I don't know why Reebok could not keep the original shape where the midsole is completely straight. You know, you got to force it now to make it straight right here. And the toe box was a little bit roomier, more square right here, and that transition, I mentioned that before, was more graduate, not that sharp. I guess it's something with the new molds, but if you look at pictures of the original pairs, they look a lot better with the straight midsole, and none of that craziness that's going on here with these ones. Unfortunately, most of the original pairs that you can see and find are probably, especially this portion here, is deteriorating and kind of crumbling, because the front of the shoe, this is hard rubber and this stays pretty much forever. It might yellow, but it's not gonna deteriorate a long time in the long run. But this portion where the polyurethane is exposed, this will crumble. If you find the original ones, I mean, obviously they're going to be 25 plus years old, so no surprises there. But I've seen pictures in a lot of players that are crumbled, and actually people pulled out the ERS, and it's easy to check it out. This one comes with only the pump, the regular pump, the new style keychain. I remember the original pair came with the kind of similar to the Hexalite hang tag, but of course, you know, it was not Hexalite because of ERS, and it was like square with this logo that it's in the insole on it, and you open it kind of like a little booklet, and inside was the explanation of the system and how it all works. And it was pretty nice actually back in those days to see shoes being released like that with a lot of information, because you can open it up and read, and you know, without internet back in the day, that was our only source of finding out what's the shoe all about. You know, we didn't know much. There was no way for you to find out unless you buy the actual shoe. You go to the store and open the tag, the label, and read it. So that was pretty much it. I mean, it was hard to find information, but once you do, you definitely kind of memorize everything. At least I did, and so I'll be able to talk to you guys now and tell you what it's all about. Again, very iconic shoe in my opinion. They were very similar with the Twilight Zone from that time, which was a little bit higher and had all around pump chamber, both around the Achilles here, your ankle, and the midfoot section. They were a little bit more expensive for the time. And then the Omni Zone, which was less expensive and had only the midfoot section. And I think they retailed around 100, 110 maybe back in the day, where the Twilight Zone was around 130. So again, that was the difference. Prices obviously were because of the different chambers used. The inner liner was different back in the day. This is a new thing, kind of a finer. Back in the day it was a little bit more rigid, but kind of a, I don't know, I prefer the old one. But anyway, you guys know that I'm going to say that. When it comes to the materials, I'm really happy that Reebok stayed with this nice, almost very thick full grain leather, very reminiscent to the old ones. I like to see my shoes like that. I mean, just pulling them out of the box and smelling that leather, absolutely mesmerizing to me. You know, I hope I'm not the only weirdo that smells. I like the smell of new, fresh kicks, but this is how we were back in the day. You walk into the store and you feel that smell, and it was like so exciting and it makes you, you know, want to fly. But again, the disappointment comes when you see the prices and you don't have any money to actually buy any of those sneakers. But it is what it is. I mean, I can talk and rumble about it forever, since you know, I know so much about these sneakers, and I remember so much back in the day. Obviously, you know, the box was different. It was not that pump it up box. It was the old style, almost completely blue box. There was like a flip and had the pump on the side with the little label of the name and the sizing and all that. It was one of the first boxes that Reebok had, and as well the materials were very nice back in the day on these shoes. It was just absolutely amazing. Padding as well, so there was no compromises. You know, they were all made in Korea, so all those factories there did an amazing job. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I plan to wear these as soon as the fall hits here. I like them a lot. They're very clean. This almost predominantly white upper, that it's a nice and very plush leather is just great for me, and very comfortable. I mean, what else I can say? Great classic pair. Again, thanks everybody for the patience. I know the video is kind of long, but I had a lot to talk about those and a lot to say, so thank you again. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to collectivekicks.com for more sneaker news, reviews, and history articles. And until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.